Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Stay awake. I didn't say it. Matthew says here, stay awake. I know it's a little chilly. I want to put you to sleep in my homily. One of the reason, this passage, I was looking at it, two symbols, she's put two small coin is bigger than everybody else. Well, there's a lot of people put gold, they put a silver, they put $1,000, maybe $10,000. Did you ever see $10,000 in our collection? I not yet. I'm just wishing for it. I always seen the $1 bill because I always say, there's something that it used to say in New Jersey. People, the mom and dad used to tell the children when the restaurants when they play with the dollar bills, keep it, we can put it in the church. And I was like, excuse me, I'm sitting right there. But sometimes it feel like an insult because teaching children, keep the $1 for the church, everything else is for something else. In one way, we're giving our children a trend that what is the least goes to
The
church, and everything big goes to the world. So it's something that we need to look at ourselves. So when they see this two small coin, they say, hey, she only gave two small coin. Why did you put $2? It is not the dollar amount that Jesus talks about. It's not the dollar amount. What is he looking at here? He's looking at your heart. Okay, you can give whatever you want. That's not his, I don't think, we will allow the priests, but I tell you, it is not the dollar amount. You give whatever you want, I don't have a problem. Because why? It is the church that you support here. Okay? But what I'm concerned is that your heart, if your heart is no good, and if heart is no good, and if you give $10,000, hey, the money is good, but your heart is bad. Okay, you need to make sure that this is what I said. When you give, only person can give more is because when the heart is good and joyful. Because that's why I say God pleases those who give, a joyful giver. If I'm a joy to give, God pleases in that person. Because sometimes you can say that the family gives so much to the church and they go through all these things. Okay, why this is happening to the family? And it is not, people are not looking at anything bad, but we had to look at back, is my heart good? Because I remember it was a Pope Francis or somebody said to the mafia, don't bring that money to the church. Because the mafias in Italy, they used to bring more money to the church because they were so generous to the church, because they do all these things, criminal activities outside, and they're bringing the money to where? To the church. Hey, for the priest, the pastor is good because why? He's getting help. But the Pope said, no, that is wrong. What your heart holds. Remember, it says, God looks at the heart. Remember, that's what he sees it. So you're giving something without your sacrifice, then it's no good. I think it's the 2 Samuel, I remember this well. 2 Samuel 24, I think that's how it is. It says, David says, I will not make enough sacrifice without making a sacrifice in my life. I will not make a sacrifice to the Lord, my God, without making a sacrifice in my life. All right? So when we come to Holy Mass, we need to make sure I made a sacrifice. Otherwise, you won't enjoy the holy sacrifice here, because this is the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. So if I don't make a sacrifice, I'm not talking about money here, okay? If I don't make a sacrifice in my life and I come here to participate in sacrifice, it doesn't work. So that is why, if you notice, why there is a 1 hour fasting before the Holy Mass. Oh, I had to fast 1 hour too. Some people say that. 1 hour before the Holy Mass. Oh, Catholic Church has too many rules. You find all this, but it's interesting. But one of the reasons we do this, because people have to meditate. I'm coming to the holy sacrifice. There is a person who gave his last drop of blood and died. It is not just an audience, people enjoy, like a comedy show. Everybody laugh and walk out. We got to understand the holy sacrifice, holy Eucharist, it's a participation. You're not audience. That's why I ask you, when I say the Lord be with you, I want to hear and with your spirit. It is not a football game, it's not a comedy show, it's not a fun thing. We come here to participate. If I'm not participating, when you participate, what happens? You grow, we grow. If I'm not growing, going to the Holy Mass, that means there is something in me that has to go away. I'm not giving God what this poor widow gave. I go to daily Mass and I'm not growing in my faith, in my love, in my hope, in my deeds, in my compassion, in my generosity. What does that mean? There is something in me I'm not giving, I'm not participating, I've just become an audience. Remember when the football game, they say, we enjoy, walk out. We are not in the game, we're just enjoying the game. That's what is exactly happening in our Holy Masses. We need to change it, we need to participate. Before we come to the Holy Mass, we need to make a sacrifice. Don't give others sacrifice, you have to do it yourself. Make a sacrifice in your life and offer that up when you come here. Every day, if you make that sacrifice and bring it here, there is a connection. Because remember, when the thief yesterday looked at Jesus and said, remember me, when you get to your kingdom, he was also going through the same suffering that Jesus was going through. If I'm able to do the same that I'm doing with Jesus, the connection is made. And he's going to tell you, you will be with me today in paradise. And that is what we want to hear. Otherwise, when we come to the Holy Mass, we walk out of here, we will never grow. I tell you that years and years, we never knew growing because I'm not making sacrifice in my life to put together with Jesus. We come without sacrifice, we will never connect to the sacrifice of the Mass. So let's ask Jesus today, help us to break the bread with my heart. It is the heart God looks. Help me to break my heart with you, so I'll be able to be one in Him, in holy sacrifice.